surrounding himself with, I mean, he normally surrounds himself with pretty crazy people, but this Laura Loomer. And I believe the government put something in the water that makes you pee.
Remember when we could laugh at political jokes without worrying about million-dollar lawsuits? Well, those days might be over. Bill Maher's quip about Melania and Loomer has opened up a can of worms that's got us all questioning where to draw the line as we watch this $150 million legal drama unfold. We can't help but wonder, are we losing our sense of humor, or is comedy finally crossing a line? Let's break it down together. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. The word that went viral more quickly than Trump's tweets about his bad hair day is going to be the topic of discussion. So let's get started. Just picture this. The HBO host Bill Maher carried out his customary roasting of Donald Trump. He is telling jokes all over the place, and the audience is devouring them like they are the last piece of pizza at a political demonstration.
We thought this would be a good week to get the audience to know her a little better. She's the new groupie in Trump's circle. I think Michael Jackson faked the moonwalking.
In spite of this, Maher suddenly divulges information that is extremely shocking regarding Laura Loomer and Melania. When he talks about them, he calls them hookers. Wait for it. Actually, you did hear it correctly. There is a single word that causes the internet to explode like Trump's ego whenever someone makes the observation that his hands appeared to be small the years he has been prodding the bear that is Trump. On the other hand, it's possible that he pushed a little too hard this time. A political joke that refers to a right-wing firebrand and the former First Lady as hookers is not anything like the typical joke. It is more analogous to throwing a lit match into a dumpster that is filled with fireworks.
For example, my spirit animal was eaten by Haitians. My hobby is refurbishing vintage lawn jockeys.
Prior to the coining of the term, fake news memes were already in full swing. The combat between Team Maher and Team Loomer was reminiscent of an argument between two elderly women who were arguing over the last can of hairspray at the dollar store. Twitter turned into a virtual cage match as a result of the proliferation of GIFs and onliners, which were passed around like confetti at a New Year's party held at Mar-a-Lago. At one end of the spectrum were those who advocated for Maher's right to free speech, and comedy memes were being created by them at a rate that was faster than Trump was coming up with nicknames for his competitors. Supporters of Loomer, on the other hand, were yelling and demanding justice, and they were most likely requesting a public apology written in gold Sharpie. Trump's ego couldn't keep up with the magnitude of the situation as it grew. As a whole, suddenly individuals who had never heard of Laura Loomer before were aware of everything there was to know about her life. Where does Melania stand? To put it simply, her Google search turned up a lot more intriguing results than she had anticipated. That the fact that this was more than just a bad joke is really the worst part. Oh no, my close companions, a full-fledged legal battle was about to break out as a result of this relatively minor situation involving comedy, because in the United States of America, you don't just tweet about someone insulting you, you file a lawsuit against them for the amount of $150 million. Continue to wear your MAGA hats, everyone. The lawsuits that have been filed against Trump are going to be rendered insignificant by Laura Loomer. A lawsuit against Bill Maher that is worth a cool $150 million is being pursued. It is true that Loomer is assigning a value to a joke, and the joke in question has a greater number of zeros than the tax returns that Trump most likely has. The issue is that those who work in the legal field are laughing more than the number of people who watch Maher's show. As far as they are concerned, Lum's chances of winning this lawsuit are about as good as proving that Trump reads his briefings. Another way of putting it is that it is extremely unlikely to happen. As you can see, in order for Loomer to prevail in a defamation case, he needs to demonstrate that Maher was aware that his joke was not true.
As a child, I had 2 of my Bratz dolls deported. People think I'm all in on Trump, but some of the voices in my head like Jill Stein.
To do so would be analogous to making an effort to prove that Trump possesses a thinking mind. All the best. In addition To this, she must provide evidence that the joke contributed to the damage done to her reputation, however given Lum's already controversial reputation in the public eye. This will be a more challenging task than convincing Trump to admit that he was defeated in the political contest. President Trump, on the other hand, is about as helpful as a chocolate teapot, although he is not exactly in a hurry to back her legal claims. He has mumbled something about Loomer being a supporter of hers. It's possible that he is simply too preoccupied with trying to remember which of his many court dates is coming up next. However, this is the point at which things begin to take an interesting turn. Because of this whole mess, there is a serious discussion taking place about the right to free speech in comedy. However, there are those who are worried that if Loomer is notorious, it could establish a precedent that is fraught with danger. Consider the scenario in which a comedian is subject to legal action each time they make a joke about a politician. Legal actions would be more numerous than Trump's golf clubs. Have you ever noticed that it seems as though we are watching a rerun of the drama starring Kathy Griffin? You know, when she displayed a fake head of Donald Trump and chaos ensued. It is the same old story. Humor and political sensitivity find themselves in conflict. Having said that, Loomer is making an effort to portray himself as the victim this time around, and I have to say that it does not look good from this perspective. What does this imply for the future of political comedy? Should we be preparing for a future in which comedians will need to have easy access to legal representation? Otherwise, will this merely be another incident in the peculiar political narrative that the Trump administration has been telling? It would appear that Bill Maher's one-word zinger has become a comedy disaster.
Start surrounding himself with, he normally surrounds himself with pretty crazy people, but this Laura Loomer, and I believe the government put something in the water that makes you pee.
People, this is a very unfortunate development. Nobody could have predicted that a single word could cause such a commotion. The experience is comparable to watching a sitcom about politics in which the jokes are accompanied by legal documents. The fact that this meme-tastic mess is more than just a source of entertainment is the most unfortunate aspect of it. People do not know where to draw the line between a traditional roast and an insult that could result in legal action, and they're confused about where the line should be drawn. When it comes to making jokes, should comedians be allowed to do so without the fear of losing all of their money, or is it all fun and games until someone's feelings are hurt? When it comes to the bizarre world of politics in the Trump era, laughter may be the best medicine, but it is also the fastest route to getting into legal trouble. With that being said, it serves as a reminder that in this day and age of viral jokes, even a single word can have a significant impact on people's lives. The moral of the story is that comedians should be careful about what they say, or at the very least, they should make sure their attorney is on speed dial.
Hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around the end, drop a blue heart in this comment. And until next time, I will see you soon.